Thanks for staying with us, and if you just joined us, this is Newsline on NTA. They say after every storm, the sun eventually returns, and for people of Tudunbiri in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, that hope is now becoming a reality. Once overshadowed by tragedy, the community is steadily rebuilding its life and identity. During a recent visit by the Presidential Communications Team and Renewed Hope ambassadors as part of their inspection of federal projects in Kaduna State, Tudunbiri presented a picture of quiet determination and gradual recovery. Our correspondent Jonathan Omajali reports that it's now a community in transition, rebuilding for the future.
Innocent faces of children peered out from mud homes as we arrived. Hesitant, curious, unsure whether to come closer or keep their distance. Life here has always been simple. A quiet farming community where families till the land and live side by side in harmony. This moved with the rhythm of nature, and nights were marked by shared prayers and strong communal bonds. But that calm was shattered in December 2023 when a military drone, reportedly on a routine anti-banditry operation, mistakenly struck the community. In that instance, a peaceful village was thrust into global attention. Yet, from that painful moment came a wave of response. Today, a new housing estate stands where grief once lingered. Solar-powered facilities now light up homes that once went dark at sunset. A skill acquisition center has been established, opening pathways for empowerment, especially for women and youths determined to rebuild their lives.
For the members of this community, it is an unfortunate incident that led to a greater development for them. A number, and including the deceased family, and all the members of the communities of Tudunbiri have been allocated these housing units. Now, that is the federal government's rule. The state government build the infrastructure. This road that we drove, about 6 kilometers, and this solar panel light system were also constructed by the state government.
When the Presidential Communications Team alongside the Renewed Hope ambassador visited to assess progress, they encountered a community in recovery and people that are gradually rediscovering their strength.
Gwamnatin Baba Obasani da shugaba Tinubu godiya akan bisa tausaya wanda suka yi mana bisa abin da ya faru. Dukkan alƙawura da suka yi magana na gaskiya kam sun fai kokari 100%.
The scars remain, but so does resilience.
What we have heard today shows that this community is very strong, very cohesive, very harmonious, and very resilient. So through the cooperation of the federal government and the state government, tragedy was converted to opportunity.
From ashes of tragedy, Tudunbiri is rising, a community held together by compassion, strengthened by support, and looking ahead with renewed hope toward a future defined not by loss, but by possibility.
Thank you, Jonathan, and it's good to know that they are healing and recovering. Let's take you down memory lane, particularly a defining moment in the history of Abuja in Jigawa State. It's 120 years since the martyrdom of Emir Muhammadu Mai Shahada. It is a return of a time of resistance when the Emir stood his ground against colonial forces, choosing conviction over surrender. His death, alongside loyal followers, remains a symbol of defiance and identity. Correspondent Awal Mohammed Kazari takes us down memory lane. His report is hereby presented.
The history of Hadejia reflects a firm stand against colonial rule. Before the colonial incursion of April 1906, Hadejia was one of the territories under the Sokoto Caliphate that resisted foreign control, while others submitted. Emir Muhammad Mai Shahada chose to confront the advancing forces. He led from the front, mobilizing his people to defend their territory and authority.
The colonial masters went to the area to hand over 8 8 nobles of the area, those of the warriors that actually worked together with the emir. And the emir resisted and refused. And what our people feel like is, if they hand over, it's like they take their sovereignty and hand it over to the colonial masters. So it's like a past nationalistic movement.
As a traditional ruler, his role went beyond administration. He was responsible for the security of the emirate and the protection of his people. When the threat came, he did not withdraw or negotiate surrender, but organized resistance, fully aware of the consequences.
Emir of Hadeja refused to do that. He prepared to stand to defend the integrity of Hadeja people, defend the integrity of his religion, and defend the integrity of our sovereignty. That is, Hadeja's election then. So allowing somebody to come and occupy you and take over the power just like that, you feel like is something worth fighting.
His leadership during the 1906 encounter defined his legacy. Emir Muhammad Shahada and many of his fighters were killed in the battle, marking a turning point in the history of Hadeja. Though his forces were overpowered, his decision to resist established him as a symbol of courage and duty, reflecting a leadership that prioritized sovereignty over submission.
I call upon the entire Hadeja, wherever they are, to imbibe the resilience of our forefathers and determined to live on the principle of self-determination and high moral values, both at home and wherever they find themselves.
Today, his story remains part of Hadeja's historical record, representing a sacrifice and a firm stand against foreign domination.
Thanks for taking us down memory lane. This is history. His type they're not much. They're called martyrs. Now to Ekiti. Nature's beauty continues to draw attention to some hidden treasures across Nigeria. One of such remarkable destinations is the captivating Ugele Hills in Ekiti State, a natural wonder gradually gaining recognition from its breathtaking landscape and vast tourism potential. From its rolling elevations to its serene environment, the hills offer visitors a refreshing escape into nature, making it a must-visit attraction for adventure seekers and lovers of scenic beauty alike. Olukemi Sane takes a closer look at what makes this location truly special.
Nestled in the heart of southwestern Nigeria, the breathtaking Ugele Hills rise gracefully from the lush terrain of Ikere Ekiti, presenting a striking portrait of nature at its finest. Towering majestically above the surrounding landscape, the hills unfold in a stunning blend of rolling slopes and rugged rock formations, draped in vibrant green vegetation. From their peaks, panoramic views stretch endlessly, as though the earth itself is exhaling beauty. The hills offer a serene escape from the bustle of urban life. Cool, whispering breezes and a tranquil atmosphere create the perfect heaven for relaxation, reflection, and quiet adventure. Those who have journeyed here often speak of the thrill of hiking its winding trails and discovering the secrets hidden within its rocky outcrops.
This is one of the geographical blessings that God has planted in Ekiti State. It's a rock shelter that has over 42 rooms here, 42 rooms and apartment here.
But Ugele, a feast for the eyes, also tells history that these hills once served as a natural refuge in times of conflict, offering shelter and safety.
It's not just a rock, it's a cultural rock. And this is a cultural rock whereby in every year this place is venerated, worship. And it is a source of those people who have no child or who are looking for children.
Today, the site holds immense potential for ecotourism development in Ekiti State, an opportunity to attract both local and international visitors, stimulate economic growth, and create sustainable livelihoods for the people.
This very raw, it has a special grace from God.
Though it's been stressful, very, very, as you can see, but notwithstanding, I think it's a very, very good experience.
It has exposed us to many things we never knew. So if we're able to exploit these potentials, it's going to be great in the near future.
From hiking to photography, this destination offers something for nature lovers and adventure seekers alike. Indeed, Ugele Hills remain a symbol of nature's quiet wonder, untouched, inspiring, and filled with promise.
I'm sure at this point you agree with me that Nigeria is a beautiful country. We have everything, and it's good to know that we are beginning to harness, or let me say harvest, the hanging fruits. Still on history and culture of the Yoruba people, the spirit of Moremi Ajasoro, the legendary 12th century queen who sacrificed all to save her people, rose again in Ile-Ife. As wife of former Ogun State Governor Olufunso Amosun is honored as Yeye Moremi Odua. Femi Afarogun reports that it was a double celebration as the installation by the owner of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, coincided with her 60th birthday.
Drums and chants marked a symbolic procession in Ile-Ife as wife of former Ogun State Governor Olufunso Amosun moved to the Moremi Ajasoro house for blessings, retracing the path of the legendary heroine. She later returned to the palace of the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enito Ogunwusi, who describes Moremi as a symbol of courage and sacrifice. Values, he said, are reflected in the new Yeye Moremi. With the presentation of the paraphernalia of office, she was formally proclaimed Yeye Moremi Odua. The new Yeye Moremi, who also marked her 60th birthday, describes the honor as a call to greater service, pledging to uphold the legacy of Queen Moremi Ajasoro and promote humanitarian causes.
That with recognition comes responsibility, and understand this honor is a call to higher service to humanity. I, Yeye Moremi Odua, therefore pledge to purposefully carry this title with dignity, compassion, empathy, and humility.
We are all together, and this is what we should strive for, the interest Yoruba nation.
You know, the title actually fits her. You know what Moremi signifies? She's a strong woman, a woman of courage and conviction. So we celebrate her today.
A reception to mark the Golden Jubilee celebration took place at a resort in Ile-Ife with renowned juju musicians thrilling the audience.
I can only wish her well. She has been doing the job, and I can wish her that she will do better going forward.
While she was first lady, she gave her best, and she's still serving us as a wife of Owu. So I am proud of her. She deserves this.
Born May 2, 1966, Olufunso Amosun, now Yeye Moremi Odua, has maintained a record of supporting the less privileged and contributing to community development, reflecting the legacy of Moremi Ajasoro.
Congratulations to the Yeye Moremi Odua. Let's take another break. More to come. Welcome back. More substandard and harmful brands of wines and spirits have flooded the markets. To protect unsuspecting buyers from the purchase of these unwholesome drinks, the Spirits and Wines Association of Nigeria, SWAN, brought together partners across the production and marketing chains to strategize to end the menace. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reports that the meeting also deliberated on illicit drug use.
For ceremonies or leisure, bottles pop daily to the delight of partakers, and alcohol companies will always advise on responsible consumption. While that social payoff follows commercials, concerns about fake spirits and wines in markets along with the illicit drug use and trafficking heightens within the trade group.
Though we are facing with smuggling activities, we are faced with tax inflation, we are faced with counterfeiting and products smuggling from abroad, competing with the local manufacturers who are paying their taxes regularly, indirectly helping the economy.
Here is a gathering of policymakers, regulators, and enforcement bodies convened by the Spirits and Wines Association of Nigeria, an umbrella body of producers, marketers, and importers of assorted drinks in Nigeria.
The fight against illicit trade requires stronger public-private collaboration, improved intelligence gathering, and effective regulatory enforcement, improved consumer awareness, and above all, a shared commitment to protecting lives.
Towards ensuring that we get intelligence.
Forthright in their mission, they engage one another, seeking ways to strengthen policies, improve enforcement mechanisms, while sharing best practices from within and outside the country to deal with the challenge.
It is a challenge that affects different sectors of the government, and we all need to come together to fight this. So in terms of the regulation, we think that first and foremost, even the laws need to be strengthened to make the penalties for engaging in this very dangerous activity to be strengthened, so that people know that they are paying a huge price for engaging in something that is a risk, not only to economies but to human lives.
They note that the adulterated spirit and wine smuggled or counterfeited not only distort fair competition but pose significant health risks to consumers.
What we call the dry goods, the labels, the caps, the cartons, everything that isn't the liquid, pretty much always fake in some examples where counterfeiters can be careful. They'll wash the bottle very carefully and preserve the label. But what we see these days are closures and caps are always fake.
Have your best interest. I also say to you, stay vigilant, stay attentive, share information into the relevant law enforcement agencies.
The gathering agree on coordinated action by sustaining collaboration, be strategic in media engagement, create public awareness to drive accountability and protect the integrity of the industry and ensure public safety.
Thank you, Salwa. This year's Workers' Day might have come and gone. However, we capture the entertaining moments. Workers stepped away from their routines to celebrate and be recognized with lively music, colorful uniforms, and coordinated marches to reflect the diversity of the nation's workforce. A drive to Eagle Square in the Federal Capital Territory on May 1st felt different. This year, Nigerian workers took the celebration a notch higher. It had the feel of a carnival. Drummers, guitarists, artists, disc jockeys, and dancers were not deterred by the scorching sun. All that mattered to them was enjoying the day. Here, age, position, and status were no barriers. They dropped the formalities, stepped out in colorful attires to show solidarity, while others seized the moment to do brisk business.
Well, we are making sales small.
You make so much sales today? Yeah, not much, but I thank God. I thank God. As you can see, it's remaining small.
Amid the colors, sounds, and celebration, there were clear expectations.
We, as media workers, especially those of us in NTA, we do not want any other thing outside better welfare. In fact, media salary.
Our expectation from the government right now is increment in our salary, and we want good benefits.
Employers must uphold ethical labor practices, ensure safe working environment, and honor contractual obligations. Workers and labor unions must engage constructively, prioritizing dialogue over confrontation.
Indeed, it was a time to bond, unwind, make new friends, and reconnect with old ones. Even the younger ones were not left out of the celebration. As the engine of the Nigerian economy, I celebrate Nigerian workers. Trust me, better days are ahead. Now, Nigeria's fashion industry is no longer just a regional force. It is fast gaining global recognition. In 2026, indigenous fabrics and traditional styles are taking center stage, captivating international audiences and redefining modern fashion. Our correspondent, Ekemini Williams, who has been monitoring the development, now brings us up to speed.
The global spotlight for Nigerian fashion has only gotten brighter this year. From Lagos runways to international retail shelves, Nigerian labels are no longer just influencing African style, they are shaping global taste.
When you go to check our runway, you will see a diversion or divergence from what we used to have those days to what we have now. And again, when you take example of Adire, Ankara, you can see Adire and Ankara, how it has evolved. You see what products we make out of Adire before, but now you have even shoes, bags.
Veteran designers like Lisa Folawiyo, valued at about $15 million, and Diola Sajo, a pioneer since the late 1980s, continue to lead international recognition.
Africa is where it is happening now. I want to see the things in Johannesburg, in Cape Town, in Dakar, you know, in Kenya, in Angola. You know, we often forget our own. We forget that outside, when we say we're going outside Nigeria, that's already international. Yeah. What's happening to Accra? Yeah. What's happening to Abidjan? Yeah.
They are joined by a new wave of brands, including Ashlux, now the most visible Nigerian streetwear label in 2026, with endorsements from Davido and Naira Marley and Orange Culture, which gained early global acclaim after being shortlisted for the LVMH Young Fashion Designer Prize.
I didn't think about the expectations. I think that's what helped. I just focused on trying to tell my story and making sure that the collection was what I imagined it to be, bringing it forward and really just making sure that I spoke from the heart. And I think that's the thing that you learn about Orange Culture. It's really a brand that's very heartfelt.
The upcoming Nations Fashion Week and Awards in Lagos is positioning Nigerian fashion for global trade. Previous editions of the awards created over 8,000 direct jobs and helped about 400 SMEs expand from local markets to international shelves, with textile clusters in Aba, Kano and Osogbo now exporting to 18 countries. In 2025, Nigeria shipped its first container of 100% made in Nigeria children's wear to US. And 2026 targets include doubling export revenue and job creation.
People in diaspora, you have a lot of Nigerians in diaspora, they've been able to showcase via party, via events, even other artists, you understand, abroad, international artists are beginning to recognize, you understand. So it's a whole lot of gain and exposure over the past 10-15 years.
Industry voices say global recognition must now be matched with domestic capacity.
The number of tailors and fashion designers we have in this country, practically now, for every graduate in this country that wants to go into something, like wants to go private from school, from NYSC, top 3 of what they want to go into is fashion. I got lots of them every day. And they are surviving, but the condition is not conducive. The platform, the environment is strangulating them.
Nigeria's fashion sector contributed about $6.1 billion to GDP in 2024, driven by rising demand for quality, authenticity, and craftsmanship over just brand names. Nigeria's fashion accent is more than a trend. It's a blend of cultural storytelling, innovation, economic empowerment that's redefining what global fashion looks like.
Ikemini, I totally agree. The way our designers present our indigenous attires and prints is seriously driving a booming and digitized sector with contemporary luxury designs. And it's simple. They're just turning the usual to the unusual. Now, what if your password was no longer something you remember, but something you are? Across Nigeria, fingerprints and facial recognition are quietly replacing traditional logins, changing how people access money, phones, and everyday services. Questions are emerging about privacy, security, and who truly controls identity in a digital world. Ibrahim Danhamido has this report.
What if passwords are slowly becoming less important? Around the world, biometric systems like fingerprint and facial recognition are increasingly replacing traditional logins, a move driven by speed and convenience. In Nigeria, that shift is already taking shape. From banking apps to SIM registration and digital identity systems, millions now rely on biometrics to access everyday services.
We know biometrics is more easier and faster, but if your Face ID is not working under the rain and all that, it still falls back to your password.
I feel more confident with biometric access than password, because someone can easily guess your password. Because there are people that don't use a hard password. They might use 000 as their password. Someone can easily guess it and access your gadget.
Something that would stand the test of time, I would say password. Because you can be sweaty sometimes, it can be raining.
The government says the transition is part of a broader push towards a digital economy.
That our contribution will be to ensure that digital technology serves as an enabler of shared prosperity, not just prosperity, shared prosperity, so that every member of our society can actually benefit from the work we do.
Building a system designed for faster and easier access. But there is a key difference between passwords and people. Passwords can be changed. Biometric identity cannot.
If it's highly protected, they can use it. Social medias like Facebook, Instagram, and they're all tools that violate our privacy. But so people need to be educated how they put their footprints on the internet, and I think that is the biggest work National Orientation Agency can focus on their mandate on digital space.
Questions around data protection, storage, and third-party access are now in focus.
In terms of breach investigations, we've investigated over 246 organizations. Global brands are there. We are not afraid of investigating anybody. And the John and John, the small ones, are also there, especially digital lending companies. We all know what they are doing in Nigeria.
While the authorities say safeguards are in place, in a world without passwords, control becomes everything.
Of course, control becomes everything, but I believe there are two segments when it comes to technology: those that will never use an application and those that love to explore. So whichever way nature and technology at a point will have to grapple. Thank you, Dan Hamido. Let's pay more bills. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying on the line. For decades, Agor Iriti Leprosarium in Akure, Ondo State has been a refuge for people once affected by leprosy. with medical advancement reducing the need for such centers. Now, a government relocation plan has sparked concern among residents who fear inadequate support and insecurity at the new site. The situation highlights the challenge of balancing urban renewal with the welfare and reintegration of vulnerable communities. In this report, Abiola Ariyo examines what the planned move means for residents.
Agoireti Leprosarium in Akure, widely regarded as a center of hope, was established in 1943 as a refuge for people affected by leprosy. Over the years, it has transformed into a powerful symbol of perseverance, where residents continue to live with courage and dignity in the face of challenges. Successive governments have introduced interventions to improve living conditions, while the generosity of philanthropists has further strengthened support within the community. Despite these efforts, many residents remain self-reliant, engaging in farming and small-scale enterprises for sustenance, a testament to their independence and determination. However, fresh concerns have arisen following plans by Ondo State government to relocate the settlement. Residents fear the move could disrupt their lives and unsettle their families.
That are coming to give us one bag of rice, beans, this, and they reach here, they said they have moved us. They will never come in search of us again.
I got to this town in 1979. Whenever I call home to inquire about them, all those that knew me then are long dead. Who will I go and meet at home?
In response, the government clarifies that the proposed relocation is part of a broader urban renewal drive, noting that no new patients have been admitted in recent years and that many current residents have been treated and are capable of reintegrating into society.
We are going to relocate them. You can be rest assured that it's going to be a better place for them, better facilities and better infrastructure for them. It will be better than what, where they are now. But it is necessary for us to do that because that place is part of, the total urban renewal of the city, not targeted at the Agoireti colony.
As discussions continue, concerned parties are urging that any relocation should preserve both livelihoods and a deep-rooted sense of community and hope that defines Agoireti.
Agoireti means hope. Well, they are mostly senior citizens. Their relocation should be seamless. Residents should not actually panic. They are not harmful. All they need is love and support. Now let's move to Damaturu. In many parts of Nigeria, some traits are still shaped by tradition, often tagged as either for men or for women. But in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, one young woman is quietly challenging that norm. Let's bring you her story of courage and determination as she creates a space for herself in the competitive world of shoe and bag making, an industry long dominated by men in that part of Nigeria. Adam Yusuf Ali is our guide.
I didn't see any women in this Yobe doing handmade shoe. That is why I have interest about it. I want to become like first woman in shoemaking.
Meet 30-year-old Fatima Ali Abba, who is quietly challenging long-haul norms in her community. Fatima is a graduate of chemistry from Yobe State University. Despite her certificate, she has chosen an unconventional path, a cobbler, working in a trade largely dominated by men. Her journey began during her National Youth Service year when she developed interest in shoemaking. What started as curiosity soon became a skill and a livelihood. Today, Fatima produces a range of women's footwear and training other young women who are willing to learn. In a society where many still expect women to follow more traditional career paths, her work stands out. Working in a male-dominated space has not been easy. Fatima speaks of harassment and discrimination, but says the challenges have only pushed her to stay focused and improve her craft. Her family remains one of her strongest support systems. They stood by her decision from the start.
We are pleading to the government to assist our ladies to join even a small business. We are really appreciate if the government will look into our problem and solve it.
I want government to help her and encourage her and improve her business, like money, place or workshops or training pupils.
Fatima now hopes to expand her business and improve her skills through further training. While she has received basic support from the National Directorate of Employment, she says access to more structured opportunities and funding will help her grow.
I want to employ my younger ones that they are staying home, like they didn't have any business. I want to assist all our community young ones to start their own business.
Fatima's story is one out of limited opportunities for women in technical trades, especially in more conservative communities.
She has carved a niche for herself in the industry. She needs every support to thrive in that competitive space. Now let's talk goals and opportunities. Imagine being a university student in your 4th year, just one step away from graduation, and suddenly dreams are threatened by financial hardship. This is the reality for 21-year-old Oladepo Caleb Olubenga, the best graduating student at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Oyo State, for the 2024-2025 academic session. Olayinka Ojo tells us how the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, came through for him at a critical moment.
When the federal government introduced the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, reactions were mixed. Many Nigerians questioned its sustainability, accessibility, and impact on the education sector. However, following a series of engagement and sensitization with stakeholders, students' enrollment began to rise. The program continued to expand access to higher education for students who might otherwise be excluded due to financial constraints. Today, over 242 billion naira disbursed to more than 1.3 million students across 288 beneficiary institutions nationwide.
We're here to celebrate the kind of impact that the vision of the president envisaged.
Now, meet one of the beneficiaries, an electronic and electrical engineering graduate and NEL Fund ambassador, Oladepo Caleb Olubenga, who says the loan support helped him navigate one of the most challenging periods of his academic journey.
Coming back to the financial parts, it has not been easy. When I got to 400 level, that was when I heard of NEL Fund. It came in at the right time. So honestly, NEL Fund is not just accidental, it is something that I can say that is one of the structural plans that God arranged to help me scale through the hurdles of the final year. It's financially demanding and emotionally demanding, academically as well.
Describing the student loan initiative as a game changer, especially for students from less privileged backgrounds, Caleb urges eligible graduates across the country to take advantage of the opportunity.
I do not know anybody, I did not reach out to anybody that I applied or I'm about to apply. Went online, started the application process, and in just a couple of months, when I got the first alert, I was like, wow. So this thing is wow.
For NEL Fund, the goal goes beyond individual support by removing financial barriers.
We're here to look after the interests of Nigerian students as mandated by His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Today we are celebrating the results. Do not allow your parents to go and source for fund where they will be disturbing them.
NEL Fund is a lifesaver.
The reality is that there are many more Calebs across Nigeria, students who might never have had the chance to access tertiary education without this intervention. The Student Loan Initiative is therefore a clear indication that the government is making strides towards promoting equitable access to higher education.
This is good news indeed. Dreams are coming alive thanks to the federal government. Her name is Miracle, and that name takes on a powerful meaning in her life. She once stood at the fragile boundary between life and oblivion, nearly slipping away from the world, until a stranger stepped in. What followed is nothing short of miracle. Mom Sodim and Daddy shares the story behind this incredible journey of survival. Meanwhile, viewer discretion is advised.
Miracle Chisom woke up on this fateful morning like any other, ready to begin the business of the day.
September last year, I was feeling weak in my left leg from the waist down to my foot, to an extent that I couldn't walk again.
An orphan, no siblings, only an uncle and aunt, who despite their compassion were already exhausted and financially incapacitated after spending all they had in caring for Miracle's mother, who eventually passed on.
I just finished school, secondary school, before my mom died, so I tried to save up money to start up a small business like Indomie, Mishai. So I was teaching in a primary school, trying to survive. I was the one paying rent for myself actually.
They went everywhere in search of a cure, but her condition continued to worsen until circumstances pushed them all the way from Delta State to Benue State.
Brought me to Abuja for program in Dunamis. When people in nature prayed for me, so after the prayer, she said they should take me to the hospital.
That was when an angel appeared in human form. They call him Uncle Paul.
He has been here running around, providing materials, drugs, food, taking care of me, you know. He has been the one, even though sometimes there will not be money, but he will run around. He may even borrow, you know, to provide food for me.
He did not know her. He owed her nothing. And yet, in a defining moment, he chose her life over his own livelihood.
I went to visit my mother in Benue. That's why I heard of her story. That there's a girl that's sick here and she's not dead yet and she's smelling, you know, and maggot was coming out from her body. I thought it's something of, I can just go and say hello to her and give her something of 5,000 or 10,000 naira and leave. So when I get to that place, oh my goodness, I can't believe, it's unbelievable.
Uncle Paul became a father, a mother, and a caregiver.
Cleaning her, you know, even to a point that I get a woman, an elderly woman in the hospital here, that I do pay her, you know, every week to be, you know, to be helping me to be cleaning her because sometimes I have to go out to look for what we eat.
What about her relatives, you may ask?
21 years old. I'm the only child of my mom. My auntie, after she brought me, she had to go back because of the little baby she's carrying, and the baby fell sick.
Today, Miracle Chisom is a living testimony to her name.
But after the surgery, she can even turn herself now. So right now, I'm relieved.
Today, Miracle Chisom is a living testimony to her name, making new friends among fellow patients who helped turn her recovery journey into an experience of hope and healing.
Why they smile? And things are really tough for them. No help. Only one person being there, nobody to assist you, no help like that.
So, and you became friends?
I became friends even though she used to stress me. But she's still my friend. Who is your twin sister?
Indeed, her story is a collision of faith and humanity, an unexpected act of compassion and sacrifice, so profound that it rekindles hope.
Because even family man no go even there for you at this point, but this man stood by her. He really tried, feed you, do everything for you, change your diapers, cleaned you.
Thank God for the doctors, consultants, churches, you understand, and individuals, food, material, money. I thank God for their life. I came a beggar in this national hospital. National Hospital Abuja is a wonderful hospital.
Though now discharged from the hospital, Miracle has no place to go.
I want to continue with my education, nursing.
The hospital bill is around 5 point something million. Like the social welfare then came in to pay some bills. We are still trusting God for other people to come in again. I do agents, house and property, which is not off-going. Right now I'm looking for a job. You God will bless me with a good job. I will appreciate it. I've been here for months now, since last year. I left everything. I came a beggar. This is where I sleep. This is where I bath. This is where I change my clothes. I have a family, but I have to talk to them. Life first. Let's save life first.
And one is left to ask, what next? Where next from here?
In an era where people are more concerned about what to gain, he stayed for nothing. Can that be said about you? Hopefully, her hospital bills will be paid. Now, there was a voice that once brought a steady calm to the doorsteps of everyone and brought calmness to the chaos of headlines. We are talking about Gold Bridget Oru, the former national director of news at the NTA, who delivered the world to our doorsteps with power and poise. Though our final broadcast ended 4 years ago, her story remains eternal. Family and friends of Madam Gold, as she was affectionately called, gathered in Lagos to honor a legacy that refused to dim. Hingino John Adams captured the moments.
Like a retirement gift, she gave us a chapel, and she single-handedly built that chapel and equipped it.
Gone, but certainly not forgotten. 4 years since she transitioned, Gold Bridget Oru still lives on, not just in the digitized archives of the NTA, but through the living monuments of her good deeds. The atmosphere here is a testament to her impact, a gathering where grief was replaced by a profound sense of gratitude. The celebration of life felt less like a memorial and more like a grand reunion. For the NTA family, it was a roll call of veterans. While the nation knew her as the quintessential broadcaster, to her family, she was the golden standard, a sweet mother who acted as a bridge connecting generations with firm love.
We give thanks and adoration to God for a life well lived by a departed member of our clan, Gold Oru, who was a loving mother and a good wife when she was alive.
She lived a good life. She fought a good fight and left a wonderful legacy for us to continue.
Former colleagues described her as a general in the newsroom, a leader who commanded excellence but led with a smile. Her influence was vast, stretching from the highest corridors of power to the quietest corners of the studio floor, where she mentored many.
She was successful professionally, and she was also very successful domestically.
We're celebrating an amazing woman, a great leader, a woman of distinction, a woman of grace and panache.
She was a professional to the core, a disciplinarian.
The music may fade and the guests may depart, but the echoes of Madam Gold's grace will remain. Her life's work continues to be measured not by the years she spent on air, but by the countless lives she transformed behind the scenes. Gold Bridget Oru was born on November 26, 1946 and died on 16th March 2022. She was a pioneering figure in Nigerian television during its formative decades and rose to the rank of National Director of News, NTA, before she retired.
May the soul of Madam Gold continue to rest in the bosom of the Lord. And I see all the veterans, retirement sure looks good on them. As we close, let compassion be your driving force. Delete the me alone nature. Be lowly at heart. Pride is a dangerous tool that waits to harm when you least expect. Don't take the silence